number 2, the voice of local sports.
For London,
I guess I should probably say where we are. You're watching on Rogers TV. They know where they are. We have a returning guest. You're actually our first returning guest.
Yeah. And event colleague, because we did some pretty fun stuff with him too, right?
Yeah, we have PerShots, otherwise known as PerShots.
What's going on?
Anybody who follows local high school sports definitely knows this guy. I think you made a couple guys go viral in the high school football season.
I think as well.
Yeah, I think one guy, you made him must-see TV all over the place.
Probably. Which he deserves.
Yeah, he does deserve. If you don't know, talk about Andre Thompson from quarterback from South, defensive end, a little bit of everything. So shout out to him. But man, he made a play on the net, and I texted you instantly. I didn't even think you noticed the game. I'm like, please tell me you got that.
I think everyone texted me instantly asking me if I got it.
Man.
And I got the most perfect shot of it possible. So
It was unreal. You know what I'm talking about?
No, which one?
He literally rolled out with no time left in the first half, hurdled a guy 15 yards down the field, and housed it.
Oh, wow. You got that. That was you that got that one. I know the compassion you're talking about. That was you. All right.
who else would it be?
Well, I totally forgot about it. I get old age, right? It's starting to hit me hard.
I remember being at a game, and my first thought was, oh man, I'm really hoping he got this. This would be the worst time for someone's camera to die.
No, I made sure I had 3 batteries that day. I was not missing a thing.
Don't have to worry about holding on to film anymore,
Yeah,
either, right? Which is pretty nice.
But yeah, no man, welcome back.
It's good to be back.
So yeah, since we last kind of met, you've really taken off, and I'm gonna say we're a very, very, very small percentage of that, but I'm gonna give us our 1%. But man,
I love being part of the 1%. That's sweet. All right.
But man, you've blown up this fall and kind of going forward, and
It's been crazy.
so what have you kind of been up to, and what have you been doing, and how's life been? It's a lot busier than us, I know that.
Life has been very busy. Since football season's ended, I've now expanded into more sports. Mainly starting in winter, I started doing more hockey and basketball, and that really also helped grow just my pages and stuff a lot more, especially on Instagram. I'm now closer to 2,500 followers. Never thought I'd be there. It's really just crazy. And then recently I've been moving into some women's volleyball because I was looking at my statistics on the page, and I was like, my follower ratio was 85% male to 15% women. I was like, I need to balance this out. So I started doing more women's volleyball, and it's a really hard sport to shoot because there's no dead moments in between really. So as I got the hang of it, that started growing the audience more, and now I have volleyball moms texting me asking me to come out to tournaments. It's been crazy. Really.
That's awesome. And you mentioned there was a difference in shooting football to shooting volleyball, just based on when there was action and when there wasn't action. What have you noticed in other sports? And are you a fan of all the sports you're covering, or are you kind of learning on the fly too?
Well, I hate hockey still.
I
don't like the cold. But I love football and basketball always. But volleyball, as I started learning the sport more, I did start enjoying it because I'm like, oh, that's a good moment. Oh, I can post this. This will get good views. And that as you do it more, you realize, okay, there's traction on this. This doesn't do as well. And with the volleyball, it's it's more you can pull audiences from I think all ages, where everyone's interested. Same with basketball, because basketball I think is just a worldwide sport. And I got a lot of I did a mixtape for one of my friends, and it blew up. It's on I think 50,000 views on my Instagram right now.
Wow.
2,000 likes, and and it was one of the funniest mixtapes I've ever made because it was meant to just be a joke, and then it blew up. I was like, well, this was unexpected.
This was for basketball?
Yeah.
I didn't think they still made mixtapes. Back when we were in high school, it was And One, right?
Yeah.
So they're still doing those. It's a street ball type mixtape, or is it just strictly about his skills and he's actually trying to get to the next level kind of thing?
Well, the one that blew up, it was him singing at the beginning, a song.
Okay, this is going way different.
And then it transitioned into the actual song, and then him playing and stuff, and it just took over. I was like, this is the most unexpected thing to ever happen. But with the basketball mixtapes, it's really just if I'm doing a specific guy, I'll intro them, the position, height, all that, and then it'll just be a minute of them just making cool plays, buckets, just really showing off their skill set, just trying to show yo, these Canadian guys can ball as well,
Yeah. One of my favorite commercials from back in that day, I remember it was the Nike commercial where they came out. It was the squeaking shoes that made the sound, the beat they were doing with the drums.
drill the basketball.
Yeah, and they were doing the dribbling off their shoes and knees and everything. That's one. You need to remake that with some of the London athletes we got. Man, that'd be pretty sweet.
I'll
Do you have
try
any
to.
idea what commercial we're talking about?
No,
I know. Yeah, I know.
I'll have to YouTube.
I was like, I think I was 10 when this came out, and he's about 15 years younger than us. So I'm like, I don't know if he was alive yet.
I think that was the last time I really put a lot of effort into learning how to dribble a basketball. I was like, can I do it with my shins? Because I cannot do it with my hands at all, right?
All I'm picturing right now is like him trying to find this Nike commercial on YouTube. And there's like, no.
These old farts, what are they trying to get me to look at, right?
From 15 years ago.
Yeah. But yeah, like, so you said you're not a huge fan of shooting hockey.
No.
I honestly believe that was probably one of the hardest things to shoot.
Yeah.
Because, like, at a football game, like, they're stopping go. So you can always kind of, like, reset your camera.
There's a dead play. In
Yeah.
everything.
Basketball and volleyball are pretty close quarters, generally in a gym. A hockey rink's long.
Mm-hmm.
And you're shooting through glass.
Yeah.
So there's probably got to be a glare, I would
Great
feel.
angles, unless you get like that square that's cut out. If you're lucky enough.
And then not to add, there's like scuff marks and scratches on
Yeah.
the glass that get in the way. And then also just with it, it's a fast sport. Like guys are shooting at like 70, 80 miles per hour at like my age that I've been shooting. So it's like I can't really track a shot. So I tried to on my first shoot, I tried tracking a shot and it just did not work. So what I learned is just if they shoot, just keep it on them. If they score, you get a cool shot of the celebration. And if you don't, then find the puck again and start following it again.
It sounds like the photography for hockey is the same as the sport itself. It is the most random sport I think that there is available out there because any bounce can create a goal kind of thing, right? And you've got to be on there. Like first you're shooting the guy who's taking the shot. Oh, there's a deflection. I got to get that goal in there too, right?
Yeah, and that's like another thing is like there's so much action away from the puck. It's like if I want a good hit, do I follow the puck or do I follow this one guy to get a good hit possibly? Whereas in other sports, all the action is where the ball is or like whatever. It's like, what do I do with hockey? And then to add to it, it's cold and I don't like the cold. My hands get cold. And then it's a bad scene all over.
It's alright, so if you're a hockey team, you're paying a premium for Aiden to be in a hockey game. I'm going to put that out there. That's a disclaimer if you call him out.
Make sure there's a heated blanket for him to sit on, wrap in, whatever, right?
So, obviously, we met you through filming football.
Yeah.
You did say it's one of your favorite things to shoot.
Yeah.
Recently, you went down to Vegas with the 7-on-7 team in the battle tournament.
Yep.
All those kids were from the 519 area, correct?
No.
No?
No, so that whole team is across Ontario. So from Windsor to, I want to say, like, Ottawa, the highest point probably. Like, guys from all across Ontario, like, top, best of the best. There was a few, like, 519 guys on there. Like, I could name, like, DJ Fonte, Chase Smith, Thompson Silcox.
I know Zay McLean was on there.
And then probably some other I'm forgetting, but those guys, there's only a select amount of guys who can make that top team to travel internationally. So I think that says a lot about London football, the amount of athletes they coming out. Because I can name a lot more guys who couldn't be on that team,
Wow.
And yeah, like there's a lot of other good athletes. Like there's other quarterback Ben Castleman. He just committed to Western.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Where's he from?
I couldn't tell you.
No.
I couldn't tell you.
And how did he was down there though?
Yeah.
How did he perform?
He's phenomenal.
Is this somebody I should be watching for in the
You
purple and white
should.
now?
Yes.
All right. Okay. Cool. Because we've had some pretty good quarterbacks come through the system. So
Yeah.
no one's nice.
Yeah. And then there's like a few guys like there's a few wide receivers from Windsor, Malachi Jackson and Dominic McKessie, I want to say his last name is. Those guys, absolute dogs. Like just the way they play the game. Like being with them, it was just like seeing how they function, how they read defenses and all that. It's absolutely crazy. And in the States, it's a whole other story.
Like, how did the guys do? Did they do all right?
They went 1-3. They won their first game in Vegas, and then lost the last two, and then lost first round of playoffs. But they were going up a bunch of two teams who had like multiple 4- and 5-star athletes in the States. It's like they couldn't do much, but they held their own. And it's like we won't say the refs were biased, but they don't want to see the Canadian team win.
Sure. And you take what you can from it, right? Just learn as much as you possibly can. There's a different side of the game that you're going to learn down there covering somebody
100%.
else and the way that they're going to be running at you route-wise, right? So.
And the big difference, too, is like a lot of those kids are put together and practice together.
Yeah.
Where this team, by the sound of it, is kind of like they were just kind of thrown together.
Well, not just thrown together, like they all had to try out and all that, but they don't get many practices together.
Mm-hmm.
I think they have one a month, which is like obviously not enough.
It'd be tough to play defense.
Any type of
Oh,
team.
yeah.
It'd be very tough to play defense in the 7-on-7. Offense, like you have a playbook, you can learn it.
Yeah.
Like, you know how to run a post, you know how to run a seam, you know how to run a corner. But like if you got to play zone defense and you don't know the guy beside you, that's a massive task.
Oh, yeah, I mean, like, if you're taught to run a 7-yard post and you know that your partner's going to run a 7-yard post versus what is my defender teammate, his tendency to jump that post, or is he going to step back and let me cover the inside gap, right?
And then to add to that, you're going up against guys who are running like 4.40s.
Yeah.
You know, crazy athletes.
Yeah, you can't teach that part.
Guys that have been benching that 225 15 times for a few years,
Going
right?
up against these Florida kids who are track stars, like just running by you, it's like you can't really do much there.
Did you ever see the stat on the Florida track state finals?
No.
From 1 to 10 in the finals, all ran under 11 seconds.
Wow.
Like 10-8, you didn't make the top 10. You didn't make the final heat if you ran a 10-8.
What are you doing running that much in Florida, bro? It's hot. Like, that's just
Like,
crazy.
if you're running a 100-meter 10-8 at 17 years old, like I don't know if I can run 50 in 10-8.
You don't think?
I know I can.
Yeah. Now, you mentioned earlier the best of the best. I do want to throw out some of our sponsors. Sorry, if you want to throw an axe in London, best of the best place to go to. Darts, you can get everything you want there. And our boy Jesse with the Hot Sauce Company. All we ever hear about is how this is the best of the best in the city, and I just love to get the show to Jesse when I can.
Well, that's not about sports. That's gonna be out there. But yeah, so you're down in Vegas. My next question is, how many of those other guys on that team who didn't know you before now want PerShots making tapes for them?
You stole my question, man. This was in my back pocket.
No, absolutely all of them.
Yeah?
It's like, you know, so I went into that and I only really knew like the 4 guys from London, really, or 5. I don't know how many guys are from London on that team, but I only knew them, and even some of them I didn't know. Like Isaiah, I did not know at all. I didn't even know he went to ZCH. But like just going in, once they knew who I was, when I walked in the hotel, they were like, "That's the camera guy. We need to know him." They all came up to me, asked me, and then they looked at my work and they were like, "Yo, this guy's good." So then just through that weekend, I got to know more of them one-on-one, and it was more of just building like a bond between them. So now, like, I look at those guys and I'm like, yo, these guys are like my friends, you know? And, you know, they all want me to, like, they're playing like summer ball and they want me to come out and like, I don't know how I'm doing that unless you guys are playing junior stangs. So it'll be interesting to see what I can do for all them. I'm traveling with them again soon. We're going to Atlanta.
Oh,
for
wow.
another
Atlanta, man. That's sick.
So that'll be fun.
Vegas, Atlanta, like those are some pretty cool towns to go to.
What
man.
did you do when you were 18 years old? I wasn't going on trips like that.
I don't know. I was selling shoes at Sport Check, man.
Yeah,
I wasn't doing very many things.
I can tell you, I wasn't playing quarterback on those teams either.
No, that's just crazy, bro.
No, I mean, that's unreal for you. Like I said, things have definitely blown up since then for you. And going down and doing that stuff, that's got to be a huge exposure for you as well.
It's exposure, but it's also just the experience. Like, traveling with all my equipment for the first time was one of the most confusing things I've ever had to figure out. But
No lenses damaged, right?
No.
The TSA was good to you?
We're good so far.
All right, man. That's good. That's
Were you
good.
allowed to bring all your lenses in? Because I know at Ford Field they had special rules.
Yeah.
No, I was able to bring everything, even my mics, all that. So, should be able to get some cool stuff out in Atlanta with those guys. Hopefully, mic a few of them up for the games. Be a cool experience. And, you know, one thing I do just want to say is really big thank you to the MVP staff, Phil Edwardy, Jesse Alexander, Nick Rochelle, like all those guys. They're your age, you know, 25 years older than me, but they treat me
25.
I thought he was saying I was 25 for a second.
Yeah.
And then no, he threw that last shot in there.
Yeah, it was a high five to an uppercut. You know, one of those shots. Yeah.
25 years old. How old do you think I am? I gotta shave, I guess. This gray is coming in too much.
That's yeah. Well, it's all that hair that's missing on the top, right?
Yeah, man, like those guys, like they know I'm young, but they still treat me like I'm an idol. You know, they've given me the utmost respect, and they've given me an experience I never thought I'd be able to do within a year. Because I'm actually coming up to the 1 year mark of PerShots in a week.
Which is just insane. Like the trips you've already done and still have planned to do inside of a year, the growth is just incredible.
Yeah, no, if you told me a year ago you'd be over 1,000 followers, I would have laughed and said, you're a funny person, because I never expected any of this. Now to be at 2,500, like, I always wanted to be, like, well known on social media, but, like, now I'm really realizing the effects of all of it. Because now whenever I walk into a game, everyone knows who I am, you know. I go out in public, even, like, just my normal self, like, normal street clothes, no sweater or anything. I'm just walking around, I will get recognized.
That's cool.
I will have people call out my name, and it's a crazy time.
It's your own fault, though. You put out a post one time saying, if you see me, make sure you know.
That was at football games, not when I'm in the mall with my family.
You didn't put that disclaimer in there. Like,
That's right. Yeah.
The moment I knew life was different is when I was in the mall and a 10-year-old came up to me and asked to take a picture. I was like, what has my life become?
That's pretty rad, man. So when you're down in Vegas, had a good time, all the boys down there, right? Who finds the camera the most? There's always somebody that knows where that camera is every time.
I gotta say, it's a tough one. Honestly, no one really found it because I was all over the place, but those wide receivers, when they hit the end zone, they were looking for me.
They know where you are, right? Get the photo from mom.
And no, it was the first play. DJ was at quarterback, and Dominic, the guy I mentioned earlier, he ran a go. It was 40 yards downfield, and he made the catch like right in front of me. I was on like the 10-yard line, and then he went to the end zone. It was one of the greatest shots I ever had. I wish I was videoing it, but I got very cool pictures for him. And that was like one of the, like, when I got that shot, I was like, yo, I'm in Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, this post is gonna be good.
Well, I mean, like, the photo, in my opinion, is almost more talented because anybody can put a moving camera and just watch with it, right? But to get those photos,
Not anybody.
Not anybody.
In this scenario, I'm sorry, I should say, but I'm sure that it turned out fantastic, right?
Yeah, it's a really cool experience. Just like, it's one thing to be in your own city doing it, getting recognized. But then to travel with a team, doing what you love at my age, it's like it's a dream. Like, just in general, it's like it doesn't feel real. None of it felt real. Like, that whole weekend felt like a blur.
So the thing you told us when we first met you a few months ago was this started out as a high school co-op.
Yep. This is just a way to get my volunteer hours.
That's what I'm saying, right? Like, you literally did this to just graduate high school. I want to make sure that everybody hears that. He only did this so he could graduate high school, and now look where you are.
Yeah.
When you say it like that, it sounds a lot less to me.
Like, you literally took something that you, like you said, you just did it to do it.
Yeah.
And you ran with it. And the work that you've put in is, I would say, like, top shelf, top notch, the best percent. Like, you obviously didn't quit on what you did.
No.
And you kept on grinding. And was there ever a point where you're like, I don't know if I should keep doing this?
Summer. This past summer, coming out of high school, like, things were so slow. I maybe got, I want to say 4 or 5 shoots all of summer. And it was like, I was coming to the point where I was like, do I need to actually get a job? Like, you know, get a minimum wage job and start working. And then high school season rolled around. I was like, let me just try it one more time. So I put in the first 2-3 months, grew about 500 followers. Like, this is something. And I was making money at that point where I was like, okay, I can have some luxuries now. But like, during the summer, like, everything was slow. And then it came to winter break, where like high school season was cut for a little bit. And in January, things were a bit slow. And I was like, ooh, I can't do certain things that I want to do. I can't, pay this, do that. But I was like, this is my dream. Like, I have plans. I've told people, like, what I want to be doing in, like, 2 years. I want to be in the States, be in the big leagues. So it's like, I have to persevere through all this and, just get through it. Because slow times will always be there, but it's how you learn from it, persevere, and keep going. So, I always when I wasn't shooting, I always tried to do something social media wise to continue to grow. And like, right now content's been a bit slow the past few weeks just because of how busy I've been. Like, I used to be able to get 2-3 posts out daily.
Mm-hmm.
And like right now, it's down to maybe 5 posts a week, which is still good.
It's like one a day almost.
Yeah, but I want to get back to providing content every day. Like that's the part for me that's the most satisfying is posting things, getting the reposts, getting the feedback, and just seeing how players and such react to the post. It shows me that my work is doing something for the community, but also for them. Because I've had so many guys text me and say, "Hey, you're helping me get recruited. You're helping me do this." Like I shot for MTS football this past season, and then their kicker just got signed to Ottawa. So it's good to see like the work I'm putting in is also helping these guys in their futures.
Well, like I'll see when I played to make a highlight tape was very difficult on the VHS.
Not when they were only 45-second clips.
Well, I didn't have a lot of passing highlights. But now as a coach, we see our guys make their plays on their huddle and so on and so forth. And I know Liam's not going to believe me when I say this, but I have helped players make their highlight tapes. Because we all know me and technology do not mix well. But I have had to do it.
Did you just yell at somebody to press the record button?
No, man. You got to go through every clip ever. It's horrible.
Yeah.
So like, this kid, you have a kid like, I think, like, remember, like, he said, can you help me? Like, yeah, like, do you know what that play was? How am I supposed to remember when you made that play? I want to make that very, like, I do not remember.
Yeah.
So you know how I feel when I get home from a shoot and I have kids texting me immediately asking me for a clip.
Yeah.
When I got home and I just want to go to bed.
Yeah, so I know what you're saying, but you're on a way different level than I am. I want to make that very clear. But it's really cool that, like, you play with kids reach out to you say, can you make my highlight tape?
Yeah.
And I'm assuming if you take the shot opposed to, like, any football coach who shoots a game film on a potato, because I don't know if anyone's ever watched film here, and it is not great quality.
No, I bet.
And everybody has ants on the screen. So it's really hard to see, like, when you're watching film that way. So it's cool that, like, they have a guy who can actually, like, help them out and, like...
Yeah.
And do you have players that reach out and you say, like, hey, can you come film me at my game?
Yeah, especially for basketball, I've done that a few times. And then, like, I remember one time this season, basketball season, a guy asked me to come out to just his game. So I did it. I went out and was recording him. And I record every play, and what happened was another guy on his team dropped 2 guys in the same play, and then hit a 3. I was like, I need to post this. I can't not post this. So I posted it. It blew up on my page. It blew up on TikTok. Then Overtime Canada reposted it.
That's sweet.
And then Overtime commented on TikTok. I was like, I knew I had to post that clip.
Sure.
So although I was shooting for that one guy, like, great moments always just come just randomly.
Well, we learned this past season in the NFL that if you were near somebody when they celebrate a touchdown, don't give them your camera because you'll lose your job, right? Don't want that to happen to you ever, okay?
Yep.
Now, you talked about some events that you were at recently. I would like to say that we were part of the events, right?
We were one of them, anyway.
Yeah, I mean, we took you out to a pretty cool, the Quick Lane Bowl, which is a yearly event down in Detroit. We got to see Minnesota and Bowling Green play this year, right?
Yeah.
It was a great game. I actually enjoyed myself. General admission seats, we got to sit right in the end zone, where most of the action seemed to have happened. You got yourself a heck of a shot, right?
Yeah. Like, I think it was, one of the first plays?
Yeah, it was like
Yeah.
I think it was the first
Like,
drive.
I thought it was going to go I think the over-under was only 31 points, and I thought they were going to go 65 or 70 for the game, right?
Yeah, and it, first play, 30-yard bomb downfield into the end zone. Got a beautiful shot of it, other than one guy's head.
That was phenomenal. So you're like, I got it. You're filming it. You're like, I got it. And then you're like, I can't say the word that you said because we're on Rogers, but I don't think I've ever laughed.
Dang nabbit.
Yeah, that darn guy stood up is what you said.
Yeah.
I made it look good.
But yeah, you edited it. It was perfect. And I forget the player who it was. Did he reach out to you after you posted it?
He did. He reposted it. And yeah, he reached out and said it was a good shot. And that was actually really cool because I was like, that's an NCAA guy.
Yeah,
He doesn't know you, right?
That has no idea who
That
I was.
is miles away from you in his hometown normally. So that's incredible, man.
And you shot that from the stands. It wasn't like you shot that down on the field level.
And that was with my tiny lens because they wouldn't let me bring in. Because I got my big one in. It would have been an even better shot. The guy's head wouldn't have been in the way. But
yeah, no, it was crazy because I thought that guy reached out to you, said, or at least comments about it,
Yeah.
anyways. But yeah, for him to reshare that, that's super cool. And obviously, like I know next year we want to go back down to the same game again. Obviously, you know you have an invite. Maybe we'll get a media pass this time.
Maybe I'll be there by myself. You know.
Oh, wow.
With my media pass, I'll get you guys field access.
That's okay.
Yeah, that's okay then.
There he goes. He redeems himself because I was like, what happened
You
here?
can only big time us if you let us be your bag holder.
Well, that was an absolute blast. I really enjoyed my time. And thank you for bringing that idea up to the squad because it was a fantastic idea.
It's 2 hours away, and it's like for the price point that it was. Anybody in London, I'm going to tell you right now, if you have a chance to go to the Quick Lane Bowl down in Detroit, I think we paid $35 and we sat 3 rows from the field. Can't beat it.
On the ESPN side, we got to see Calvin Johnson and everything too,
Yeah.
which was really rad, right? Seeing a Hall of Famer like that, or future Hall of Famer, yeah.
The band. That was the part that blew my mind. That Minnesota band was pretty good.
Yeah, Bowling Green put on a show, but then Minnesota came out with what looked like 3 times the size of the marching band that Bowling Green
300
had.
guys. They had a full section just for the marching band in the stands.
Yeah. It was cool. They were involved in every play. I mean, we've been to a few Notre Dame games, not together, but like on our own, and we've seen the bands being involved there. But it's cool to see them in a professional setting like that. You know, the upper bowl wasn't open, but nonetheless, it was really cool. So thanks for coming out for that. Thanks for getting that shot. I hope it blows up, or you continue to blow up, man. That was just so sweet.
Well, I remember when we were on our way to that game, you were like, probably gonna be like 800-900 people, and we get there, they say the attendance is like 30,000.
It's like 32,000 people.
The whole lower bowl was filled, right? It was just the upper bowl that was missing, but it was full.
Yeah.
It was good stuff.
I just love the fact that we went down to that game, and 2 days before we went, there was a countdown on ESPN of the top 32 bowl games. Or sorry, top 40 bowl games, and it was number 40.
What ESPN doesn't know is that fun is where your friends are. And I had a heck of a lot of fun with you guys, so.
Well, I think when I saw the over-under at 34 points, I was a little nervous. And luckily, both teams did not do that, so it was all right. But no, it was a great time for all of us. And like I'm glad you came down. Glad you got your shot too. And listen, the offer's there again next year, or you can offer us to be there for you, I guess.
We'll see what it looks like. You know, got a lot coming up, but we'll see what happens.
Well, episode 2 with you was fantastic. It was a good reunion. I can't wait to have you on the show again and hear what you're doing all next time.
Yep.
All right, man. And everybody, obviously, make sure you check us out on all of our social medias. I'm going for 2. And obviously, Kid, definitely these guys behind us, our sponsors. Just want to say thank you to them. Head to our website in the lobby. All the links to them will be there. Until next time, guys. Cheers.